The room felt heavy. Too quiet for a man like him. Chuck Norris sat frozen. Older now. Slower. But those eyes still sharp. He glanced at the interviewer. Then quickly looked away. Like something inside him refused to come out. Like a truth buried too deep. Something he had carried for decades. Something about a man the world worshipped. A man people thought they understood. But never truly did. Bruce Lee. A name that still echoes through time. Blinding speed. Ruthless focus. Unmatched presence. But behind that powerful image, there was a hidden darkness. Something almost nobody ever saw. Chuck took a slow, heavy breath. His voice sounded calm. But beneath it, something was shattered. He finally said it. The truth about Bruce is not what people think. And in that moment, everything shifted. Because what he was about to reveal was never about fights. Never about movies. It was about pain. The silent kind. The kind that eats you alive slowly. So what really happened behind the legend? What truth did Chuck Norris hide all these years? And why speak now, after so long? Bruce Lee was never born a hero. He was born into chaos. A life pulled between two worlds. East and West. Tradition and rebellion. Even as a child, something felt wrong. He couldn't sit still. He couldn't feel peace. Always fighting. Always searching for something he couldn't name. People saw talent early, but they never saw the fire inside. The anger. The pressure. The deep loneliness growing quietly. He moved to America at a young age. New country. New identity. But the same storm followed him. He trained harder than anyone around him. Faster. Stronger. Sharper. But here's the truth. He wasn't chasing victory. He was running from himself. Every punch he threw, every move he perfected, was a war inside his own mind. And nobody noticed. Because on the outside, he looked invincible. That's when Chuck Norris stepped into his life. Two fighters. Two very different paths. They met in a world built on discipline, respect, and silent rivalry. Chuck saw something in Bruce immediately. Something unusual. Not just skill. Something deeper. Something unsettling. Bruce didn't train like others. He rejected rules. He broke systems. He created his own way. People called it genius. But Chuck saw something else. He saw obsession. The kind that takes everything from you. Bruce pushed himself beyond human limits. Again and again. Day after day. No rest. No balance. And this is where it gets worse. Because the world loved it. They cheered him louder. They demanded more. More speed. More power. More perfection. And Bruce gave them everything. At a cost no one could see. Fame didn't arrive slowly. It exploded. Movies. Interviews. Crowds screaming his name. He became more than a man. He became a symbol. A global icon. The man who changed everything. But inside, he was breaking apart. Chuck noticed it first. The subtle changes. The quiet pauses. The way Bruce would drift away mid-conversation. Lost somewhere deep inside his thoughts. Like something was tearing at him from within. But nobody asked questions. Because legends aren't supposed to struggle. Right. That's the illusion people believe. But here's the truth. Legends feel deeper than anyone else. The pressure. The expectations. The constant fear of losing everything. Bruce carried that weight every single day. And it kept getting heavier. Then everything began to shift. Slowly at first. Then all at once. Bruce started changing. Not on the outside. But inside his mind. Inside his emotions. Something felt off. Something felt dangerous. He pushed himself even harder. Training longer. Sleeping less. Eating differently. Testing limits no one should test. Chuck tried to reach him. Tried to understand what was happening. But Bruce pulled away. Like he was hiding a war inside him. And this is where nobody expected the truth. Because the strongest man in the room was quietly falling apart. Bruce began to fear something. Not other fighters. Not failure. Something far worse. Himself. His thoughts turned darker. More intense. More uncontrollable. He questioned everything. His purpose. His path. His identity. The man who inspired millions was losing control of himself. And nobody could stop it. Not even Chuck Norris. Then it happened. The collapse. Sudden. Shocking. Unbelievable. The world froze. News spread like wildfire. Bruce Lee was gone. Just like that. No warning. No goodbye. People couldn't accept it. They were confused. Angry. Heartbroken. They demanded answers. But none came. Only theories. Only rumors. Only silence. Years passed. But the mystery never faded. And Chuck stayed silent. For years. Too many years. Until now. He finally spoke. Not for attention. Not for headlines. But for truth. The real truth. He said Bruce wasn't taken by one moment. It wasn't sudden. It was a slow collapse. Painful. Invisible. He pushed himself beyond what any human should endure. Mentally. Physically. Emotionally. And in the end, it caught up with him. Chuck said something that changed everything. Something simple, but devastating. He was fighting a battle nobody could see. That was the truth. Not weakness. Not failure. But overload. Too much pressure. Too many expectations. Too much intensity for one man to carry. Bruce didn't know how to stop. Because stopping felt like defeat. And defeat was never an option for him. But here's the deeper truth. Even the strongest need rest. Even legends need peace. And Bruce never allowed himself that. Chuck's voice slowed. Heavy. Almost breaking. He wasn't just speaking. He was remembering. The real Bruce. Not the icon. Not the legend. But the human behind it all. A man who laughed. Who struggled. Who felt lost at times. Who carried more pain than anyone knew. Chuck paused one last time. Then quietly said, I wish he had slowed down. That one line carried years of regret. Because sometimes, the real enemy isn't outside. It's within us. The need to prove ourselves. The fear of not being enough. The pressure to stay perfect forever. Bruce Lee became everything the world wanted. But lost himself along the way. And that is the part nobody talks about. Not the fights. Not the fame. But the price of being unstoppable. The price of never resting. The price of carrying everything alone. Chuck Norris didn't just reveal a truth. He revealed a warning. A painful one. That greatness without balance will break you. That success without peace means nothing. And that even the strongest legends are still human inside. Bruce Lee will always be remembered. As a legend. As an icon. As a force of nature. But now, maybe he will be remembered as something more. A man who fought battles no one could see. A man who gave everything and paid the price. And maybe, just maybe, that truth will save someone else. Before they push too far. Before they lose themselves. Because not every story ends with applause. Some end in silence. And questions that never get answered. What do you think about this?